What's up, everybody? It's ICanSnake.
Hello everybody, this is Downloads Bacon here, back from outer space. Also, school's out for summer.
Greetings everyone, this is CC Trainor-Ling.
What's up, everyone? It's the fabulous and beautiful con man here, and I don't know what you got till it's gone. And yes, I am a model.
A model of fashion.
Calm down, Johnny Nitro.
They don't just give you the title of model for nothing.
Well, hopefully, James, you have more than just one look. And let's hope that we have some fun with this. You see what I did there?
No.
No one got the joke.
I do.
It's like we're gonna have fun with this review, right, guys?
Yeah.
That's right, a double review actually.
2 for 1, right, guys? Oh, wait, you guys already did that joke.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, we already did this joke.
Today's reviews are of Summertime Blues and Missing Blythe. And so, without further ado, let's head right into the two plots. Let us swoosh right into them. So the plot for Summertime Blues is that Blythe is accepted into the Fashion University North Fashion Camp for the summer, but faces the difficulty of saying goodbye to her friends and family in the process. Meanwhile, the pets plan a going-away party for Blythe, with Russell feeling unsure about what he can give to Blythe. In the next episode, Missing Blythe, the pets, who are not feeling too keen about temporary LPS employee Madison, come up with a plan to travel to Fashion University North to see Blythe, who has been enjoying her time at the camp, but longs to see her loved ones again, especially when the only company she has to talk to are teens with fashion as the only things on their minds.
Yes. Yay.
It becomes zombies with buttons on their eyes.
Yes. So I think my first positive is definitely the first song we hear in these 2 episodes, Stay Here Forever. I think I could speak for everyone here, but I think this is objectively one of the greatest songs in the show by far. At least for me, it's in my top 5 episodes in the series. Stay Here Forever is very emotional so early on in the episode, and it sets the actual gravity of the situation once it finally sets in that Blythe will possibly leave for the rest of her life.
All of my words exactly.
I couldn't say it better myself. Like, I first saw this episode, and keep in mind, this is a couple years ago, when I first saw it. You know, I was still somewhat of a new fan, but I felt like crying after hearing this.
Yes.
A little tongue-in-cheek near the end, and the whole, doing it in a recording studio kind of scenario was a little tongue-in-cheek too. But the emotion is still there, despite tongue-in-cheek things that I talked about. I guess they were trying to lighten the mood a little bit. Otherwise, everyone would be swelling with liquid pride.
Isn't that the song at the end?
No, you silly man. It wasn't that song, it was our next song, It Won't Be Long.
Right, sorry, I got the 2 mixed up a little bit. But then again, Minka on that bass, though, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah. That's my next positive, too. This is actually sung by Jessica Zrali, a new guest singer on the show. And along with Stay Here Forever, it's really emotional as well. And this song features the pets that are fully content with Blythe leaving the pet shop for the summer. And it's not her whole life now. So they wanted to give Blythe one last parting gift, and this parting gift was perfect.
Well, more like parting gifts.
Yeah.
They're basically all doing their talent, like Vinny was kind of doing his river dance impression and everything.
So Neil with his magic, and Pepper with her comedy, Zoe with her fabulous song and dance, Penny with her ribbon dancing. Sadly, we don't see it as often anymore, but still, it was great seeing it here.
Yeah.
And of course, Minka's painting.
Yeah.
That was the best.
Honestly, if I didn't know better, this felt like it'd be like a perfect series finale if you think about it. It just has the feeling of one.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking maybe either a series finale or maybe transitioning into maybe a new teenager to inhabit the pet shop.
Like Madison.
They had someone else
No, please not Madison.
Madison gets her own series.
It'd be like they're trying to do Chuck Cunningham syndrome with Blythe.
Speaking of Madison, she's my other positive for this episode, because this is the first episode she's introduced in, and she ends up becoming a recurring character through the series. Although she's really germophobic and she's really careful with everything she touches, it's really funny the way she goes about it.
For me, I don't really think she's really good nor bad. She's just one of those characters that's just there, and that's just pretty much it.
Yeah, and we've seen the germaphobe thing done quite a bit in cartoons before. And, this wasn't really adding anything particularly special to the party. it's not a negative. I mean, it's not bad at being negative. It's still just something that is not kind of more meh than anything.
Well, if you want to go that route, technically everything's been done to death more or less. And the ones that have been done even more are ones that actually work or have a comedic value to it. Now, Madison's whole point, in my opinion, is that she's there to add extra feeling to it. What I mean is that now that Blythe is leaving, we got someone who isn't even remotely close to as good as Blythe, or someone that the pets cannot get a good connection with.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Then again, Madison doesn't even show that she wants to have a connection, seeing how to feed them she'll wear a gas mask and just throw the food in there. Since according to her, all of the pets are icky.
But speaking of talking, that brings me to one of my positives of this episode. It's where Russell brings up that dumbwaiter accident and how Blythe was able to suddenly start understanding the pets. Could this really confirm that dumbwaiter accident really did trigger Blythe's ability to talk to the pets?
It could possibly be a theory.
I think it's the only theory that really would make a lot of sense. Because before, when she was in her old neighborhood, she just heard a bunch of dogs barking and she didn't even know what they were saying. But then, bam, she hits her head. Now, she can hear Zoe talking.
Yeah.
You mean her freakishly large head?
Yeah.
First few character designers trying to make me cute.
Yes, Pepper felt bad about joking too much about her giant head. I guess my last positive for this episode would probably have to be just the overall story, not defaulting to that, old-time cliche of where we're getting build up to a character leaving for a while, if not forever, and then in the end, the character just decides to just not go and they just stay right where they are.
Yeah.
I think it shows just how, mature Blythe is, and, she actually will put her dreams before, her friends, if that doesn't sound too selfish in saying.
No, that sounds selfish.
Oh, come on now. Well, I guess we have to also look at it from this perspective. Even though, everyone was going to miss her like crazy, they definitely weren't trying to guilt trip her into staying.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining Mrs. Twombly just, yeah, sure, Blythe, you can leave.
I just want to have.
Just leave an old lady here to just be by herself. I might just get bankrupt again. I don't know what accent I'm putting for Twombly, but now the pets are going to miss you like crazy, but you pursue your fashion, America.
That definitely would have been a bad idea.
That would have been weird.
Weird for Mrs. Twombly, but then there was Jasper, who was kind of making, sort of a deal about it, but not really. But then again, that's just Jasper being, him.
Everyone hated it.
I mean, you're saying this episode doesn't use this cliche that she just doesn't go to fashion camp at all, but I think they use it in the next episode, Missing Blythe, because she doesn't end up staying there. She ends up going back home anyway.
She's probably been there for 2 months, maybe, or half the summer.
So is it a month or is it a really short time?
Or maybe 2 months, maybe. We don't know how long the summer is over there.
Hey, maybe downtown city summers are 4 months. We don't know. And then again, they didn't specify how long it was. It could have been a month, 2, 3. We don't know.
Yeah.
It was just some time.
Since the university was doing a go home for a day kind of thing, I'm assuming it was the halfway point.
Yeah, probably. And then we come to Fashion University North, the song. My God. How great was that song with Blythe?
It was alright.
Well, maybe it was alright.
Then again, that saxophone though.
I love the sax.
The song was unnecessary, but this one I thought was actually pretty good. I mean, was it necessarily necessary? Actually, I kind of think it was, because it was a nice way to introduce the place, and a lot of lyrics were quirky and fun, and it was pretty catchy. When I first heard it, I was just I'm not kidding. I wasn't even controlling my foot, but it just started tapping. Tapping to the beat, I was like, wow, this is catchy. I guess they were trying to go for a sort of catchy, almost brainwashy thing, because take a look at the reprise, and everyone looks like they're borderline zombies, because all they talk about is how great fashion school is.
I don't know why, but I really think this song could work for a commercial. I just imagine someone saying, "Come down to Fashion University North. We'll teach you everything that you need to know about fashion." and then the music is playing in the background, I see it kind of working for a commercial.
University North.
Thinking too when I first heard it was this could be perfect for like a real commercial, even if it was just a radio ad. Have you ever wanted to learn how to sew together your own slacks or your own jacket? Do you want to design fashion so people like Fabio can wear them? Well, come down to Fashion University North, and we'll teach you how. Starting at only $69 a lesson.
Love it. And then there was the moment where Blythe started to sing about how, everyone shouldn't only be focused on fashion at this school, just like try to have some fun too with other things. And right at the end, you could tell that she was kind of getting bored with being there.
You said fun at fun.
Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, but they should have fun at fun. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's pretty clear that Blythe was having anything but fun after a while.
Yeah, it's like the best way to ruin something you love is to have a really boring school about it.
You know what they say, too much of a good thing.
Yeah.
Then again, that teacher was boring as heck.
And so were those students.
I don't know, that teacher reminded me of the teacher from
Anyone?
Bueller's Day Off. I was just
Great
expecting him to
Depression.
start calling for him.
Bueller.
Baxter.
Carrotsville, Holly, Smoot, Tariff, and Witch.
I really think we should
Anyone
call this
raised or
episode
lowered?
Blythe's Day Off,
Raised
not
tariffs.
Missing Blythe.
In
Yeah.
an effort to collect more revenue for
Baxter,
the federal government.
Baxter.
The
Did
80s
it work?
freaking me is
Anyone?
giving you a thumbs
Anyone
up
know
for
the
that one.
effects?
In this episode, Missing Blythe, I actually really do like the students at the school. Although they're so obsessed about fashion, and it's the only thing they do every day, it shows that they're very hardworking and very passionate about their abilities and hobbies, and they want to be successful in the real world. It also reminds me of reality and my college in the real world. I go to pretty much nerd engineering school, and there's an honors college which houses most of the honors, hard workers, tryhards, and people that are very, very passionate about their fields. These people are very similar to the students at Fashion University North, which gives this episode a more realistic feel.
Yeah, there's the realism, but even some of these people need to learn how to, let their hair down or, open up that jacket they sewed up once in a while. Just have a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
Hey, but these guys they know how to do that. That's why they're there at Fashion University North, to learn how to do what you just said.
Apparently, women love guys who can sew.
Once they get like top jobs in their field, they could probably learn other stuff.
And then we come to 99 cans of pet food on the shelf.
Best song of the series.
It's been done before in many other shows, but seeing how it's Mrs. Twombly singing it, I love it. Even when she adds that lyric about ordering more cans, only she would come up with that.
Only her.
It's just an infinite loop, which means that once you start, you can't stop singing it. If you do, you go bankrupt. You lose your business. You basically run out of cans. You run out of time.
Then it's nuts to that noise.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
I suppose the last positive that we have listed is Blythe and Twombly just barely missing each other at that truck stop.
Yo, that's a super positive right there.
Well, not super, but it's like kind of hilarious how they were right there and you just couldn't see each other.
They just missed that cookie crisp.
Yes.
If they just turned their heads, but it happens.
It's like you're right there, man.
Come on, Blythe, you don't see Mrs. Twombly just right there with all the pets?
Yeah.
But that guy was freaking out. The clerk was just, there's a woman with a panda and a pink monkey.
You can't see me.
Calm down, John Cena, okay?
I mean, you two might see this as a positive, but I think it's more of a negative for me for the exact same reasons. And I think this is where we should transition to the negatives of Missing Blythe. So the first time they went to the rest stop, a truck just happened to be between both vehicles, and they just happened to miss each other every single time at the rest stop. Blythe was so completely oblivious to turn her head right to see the vehicle right next to her before they left the rest stop. It all seems just way too convenient for me. Like, everything had to happen that way to force a conflict. It's like no one looks in any direction other than directly in front of them.
Well, how convenient.
How convenient.
Well, I mean, I guess I see what you're getting at, but you have to understand that this actually can happen in real life and in any other TV show. This is entirely possible.
It could, but it doesn't mean you don't have to look everywhere at all times.
So tell me, do you do that?
Yeah.
You go in and look in every single direction?
Yeah, I turn my head a lot in real life.
Well, that,
Don't we all? Don't we all turn our heads in real life? Left, right, up, and down?
Yeah, like you look everywhere when you go in?
I look at other people so I could see if I know them or not, so I could say hi.
Looking at real, living people?
Real living people. People all around you.
Okay, so from now on, I'm going to imagine Ekans just walks into a room and then just like every single direction, just like spinning his head and then goes to every person.
I know.
And like looks, stares at people like, do I know you? And they're like, I don't want to.
Oh.
Another nitpick I have is when in the bus, Blythe screamed saying, "The plaid monster is gonna get me." And then she saved it by singing a bad song out loud. It kind of felt too cringeworthy and forced for me, and I think it would have been better for her if she just hadn't tried to save herself at all. Just have people look at her weird just because she said the plaid monster's gonna get her. Not her singing songs out loud in a bad tune.
I feel like I'm gonna have to defend this one a bit, like, because this is something that's been done in comedy for quite a bit. Like, if any of you guys remember Friends, you know, one of the gags was that one of the characters, like, could be wrong. It's been a while since I've seen this. I think maybe Phoebe or someone was known for being a pretty crap singer and like had a song she constantly played on her guitar in a coffee shop, and one episode actually got a recording deal for it. But you know, cringeworthy singing is kind of a thing that's done in comedy a bit, quite a bit, and I think it was done pretty well here. At least in terms of, you know, sticking to the basics, not making it too cringy.
Yeah.
Then again, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of the song "The Plaid Monster's Gonna Get Me." Pretty awesome, actually.
Good.
Nah.
Oh yeah, so my all-time favorites, man.
Have.
It's on my iPod, like, constantly.
It was great.
Then again, I did a death metal cover of it. You know,
The plaid monster's gonna get you.
You're gonna come back and learn about plaid.
we need to make that official. James, metal song, me and you.
Yes. I mean, after all, real men wear plaid.
Real men wear plaid, and real men also have buttons for eyes, but that's a different story.
Yeah. Yes, that's totally a different story.
Yes, a never-ending story.
Well, I guess other than my negative about the students at FUN, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, guys, I do have a negative, and my negative is on Summertime Blues, and the negative that I have to point out for myself and just to present it to you all is that I didn't like somewhat of the ending. I did not like that after all the pets had done their talent and sing and dance and all that good stuff, they kind of were being nice since Russell didn't really have a physical gift to give her. So they kind of were nice and said, "Oh, it was Russell's idea," and everything. And then Blythe hugs Russell and says she'll miss him most of all. And I'm not really a big fan of that. It just kind of seems like Blythe's playing favorites or something. And no matter how I look at this, it seems like a negative. I can't view it in a certain way that doesn't make Blythe sound kind of mean. You know what I mean?
Or maybe it's possible that Russell was Blythe's like actual first like pet friend in the shop.
That makes sense. I mean, if you take away the favoritist sounding angle from it, then yeah, I can see where you're coming from there.
Yeah, but the pets put a lot into their gift for Blythe, and then for them to be like, "Later, Blythe, we love you, we'll see you when you come back," and she's just, you know, "I love Russell more." I mean, the pets, in a way, represent children, since they don't seem to act as adults. You know, if they were in the My Little Pony world, they would probably be Sweetie Belle, Apple Bloom's age level, probably. So, for Blythe to do that would really devastate the pets. If they actually heard this, it would really bum them out.
Well, maybe.
I get where you're coming from.
I don't know, it just sounds weird to me, and from what I've seen from other shows, like Avatar, Legend of Korra, them playing favorites won't really be a good outlook, I guess. Just ask Avatar Aang. Also, I thought Blythe had an equal love for all the pets, but apparently she loves Russell just a little bit more or something? Not sure, but from this episode and that scene, or that instant, it just comes off as it. And again, that might explain the expo, and again, that's why I keep making the jokes about Russell being the favorite, because of this episode. There was no real incident beforehand that showed that they had a better connection than the others. No, it just came out of nowhere. I don't know, something about it just rubs me the wrong way.
Would you rather it rubs you the right way?
Yes, I would, actually.
So for me, I love the fact that these episodes are a finale of one season and then the start of another. It makes a great cliffhanger with us wanting to see what happens next, and then we actually get to see what Blythe does at Fashion University North a while later. When these episodes aired, I myself could relate to them. Summertime Blues aired when I was finishing my senior year of high school, and then Missing Blythe aired 2 months into my college dorming life. The problem is, Summertime Blues felt very, very inspirational and left on a very high note for the season, but I feel like Missing Blythe was really underwhelming and kind of a letdown. It does deal with Blythe going to Fashion University North, but I think the episode would have been better if she just stayed there for the whole summer instead of getting homesick and coming back partway through it, wasting a lot of money for that summer camp if she actually did leave. Or even more relevant, she should have went to Zany Island Grand Reopening instead. So I would rate Summertime Blues a 10 out of 10, and it just misses my top 10 list. But I would also rate Missing Blythe a 6 out of 10.
Ekans 2015. Alright, before I begin, I need to state that I'm going to do Summertime Blues and then Missing Blythe. Hopefully. Hopefully I can stay organized, but whatever. Let's begin. Summertime Blues is probably one of the best episodes of Season 1, and I'm pretty sure it's either number 1 or number 2 when it comes to season finales for me. And all the characters were great in this episode. Twomley, Sue, Jasper, Young Me, Blythe, Roger, the pets, and even the Biscuit Twins, which we failed to mention, but they had a very small role in this episode for just saying that they heard that Blythe was going to leave. And they stated that hopefully it was for good or whatnot. Of course, they had their little biscuit laugh. Then when Blythe corrected them was for the summer, they basically left a little bit, but Blythe said didn't know they were going to miss me, which is kind of interesting that I guess the Biscuits in a way still kind of care for Blythe, maybe? Not sure, but it's interesting to say the least. They'll always have Penny for your laughs to remember. And we got a new character, Madison, who was great also for what I stated earlier for making Blythe look even better, but I don't know, the idea of how she got her job is still hilarious to me. That Mrs. Twomley just opened the door, looked outside, and just asked a random person if they want a job, which is hilarious. So the jokes in this episode are actually still very hilarious, especially for the sad tone and feel that it has. Most shows would try to attempt, okay, this is going to be a sad episode, or it's going to be this, and we're just going to focus on that. But I really appreciate when a show can do multiple things. And this is a prime example of this working. Besides everything else that we talked about, and of course me having that one negative on Summertime Blues, referring to Russell, and a little bit of that Blythe playing favorites thing, it still rubs me the wrong way no matter what. But maybe I can see another point of view, I don't know. No matter what I try to counter-argue with this, it always makes Blythe sound kind of mean, the same. I'm glad she whispered it to Russell instead of saying it out loud, because that would have been an awkward way to leave. Just saying. It's actually kind of funny because it reminds me of a joke from Family Guy. They had a joke about the Wizard of Oz, and I'll put it down here on the description, or I'll probably comment and put the video link there. But that is exactly what I kind of think if Blythe would have said that more or less louder for the other pets to hear. I'm surprised Zoe didn't hear that since, dog and whatnot. But I really don't want to dwell on that, because the episode is amazing, and if I really hated it as much, I would probably give this episode a failing score. which I'm not. I will tell you the score at the end. And when it comes to Missing Blythe, I really like that episode, at least a lot more than Ekans. It picks up where Summertime Blues left off, and it does a fantastic job at it too. We really get a feel to how it is without Blythe, and while the pets can manage, they don't go completely bonkers, it's not the same without her. Now that we got Madison, who doesn't even want to go in the room with the pets and wear a gas mask and throw the food in there, so it makes the wait for Blythe feel longer and longer. And then again, they're pets and they don't have a sense of time. But then again, calendars are delicious. Right, Minka? I think it's really good timing on Mrs. Twombly's part to introduce the pet shuttle, which I guess could benefit the pets, seeing how they use it to their advantage to try to see Blythe. And of course we get to see Russell typing, which I'm surprised he can type very well. And those little fingers he's got, those hands. And of course we really gotta appreciate the song Fashion University North. That saxophone though. Daniel Ingram, you did a great job here. Sounds like something that can be on a commercial. So with that in mind, I guess it's time for me to wrap this up. I could go on for days about both these episodes, but you see, I don't want to make this review way too long. Especially seeing how, by looking at my wrist with no watch on it, it seems to be almost 30-some minutes. So with that in mind, I will be giving Summertime Blues a 9.9 out of 10. And I will be giving Missing Blythe a 9.75 out of 10. Very solid episodes, one you all should check out.
For Summertime Blues, this is my #1 favorite episode of Season 1. The reason why I love it so much is not just because of its cliffhanger ending, which would more or less confirm a second season, but it's because it didn't default to the old-time episode narrative where the leading character is torn between leaving their loved ones or staying put where they are just to spare their feelings, with the latter option, of course, being chosen after so much build-up to the character's departure. Doing that really doesn't do much for any of the characters, nor do I feel it really helps in terms of development. Having Blythe actually say goodbye to the pets and everyone else shows that even though she's made great friendships with them, she also knows that everyone supports her decision to succeed in following her dreams, and it proves just how mature these characters truly are when it comes to letting their friends go off for a short while, if not forever. Some people might think Blythe was playing favorites when she said that she'd miss Russell most of all, but I honestly don't think Blythe was doing any such thing, and I'm sure she's not that kind of person. There are two possibilities as to why she said what she said. One, she probably didn't want Russell to feel singled out since he didn't give Blythe an actual gift she can watch or take with her. Or two, she was really caught up in knowing Russell came up with the idea of the going away party and planning it out. It's similar to throwing someone a surprise birthday party. Obviously, the birthday person is going to love everyone for their gifts, but truthfully, most of the thanks should go to the person who came up with the party idea and did the organizing for it. The going away party, in and of itself, is sort of Russell's gift to Blythe. Yes, the 6 other pets gave presents too, but remember, they were all freaking out knowing Blythe was leaving, and Russell convinced them to put their worries aside and give Blythe some gifts to ease the tension they were feeling. So in reality, if Russell hadn't have said anything, the pets would have been moping around and feeling sad knowing their human friend would be leaving them for a long time. A similar situation happened in the pilot where Russell was able to calm everyone down when he suggested they needed Blythe to help them save LPS, even though Penny did come up with the idea first. In both the pilot and Summertime Blues, Russell's role could have been replaced by anybody, and I would say regardless of who it could have been, whether it was Minka, Zoe, or even Sunil, Blythe would have probably said and done the same thing. So in the case of Summertime Blues, she'd say, "I'll miss you most of all, insert pet name here." So in the end, if we think about the events that transpired throughout the first season, Russell not only convinced Blythe to help save LPS, but he was also able to calm down the other pets and plan out a going away party for their human friend. To me, Russell is the most logical in the group, subjectively speaking, and is very particular about details and planning things out. So as far as I'm concerned, Blythe wasn't playing favorites, but was probably just giving thanks to the one character who more or less convinced her to save the shop from closing, much to everyone's benefit, and also making her departure for the summer feel not so miserable or bittersweet. To be fair, when Blythe first moved to Downtown City, she had no friends until she made them at LPS, and I guess Russell was her first new friend since arriving. Honestly, when it comes to the first ever friendship we make, we tend to hold that person, or in Blythe's case, pet, in a much higher regard than most other friends we make later on. So what Blythe said could possibly be interpreted as favoritism, but maybe not in a selfish way. Like I said, any of the pets could have done what Russell had done, but seeing how Russell is usually the most organized than the others, it just seemed to fit his character better. but maybe that's just me. Overall, the episode was fantastic with its storytelling, Blythe's character development, and of course the songs to grab you by the heartstrings. This episode will be getting a perfect 10 out of 10, a proper score to the end of the first season. Now as for Missing Blythe, it does a great job at picking up where the season 1 finale left off. Even though the season didn't open with a two-parter like the prior season had, I don't think there would have been enough material to stretch the story out to 44 minutes. It did a great job at capturing the feelings of the pets feeling apart from Blythe and vice versa, and I don't blame any of them for wanting to get away from where they currently were. The pets being left in the care of Madison doesn't sound like a lot of fun, but I don't really hate Madison though. She's neither good nor bad, she's just, well, not that intelligent and just there. That's pretty much it for her. As for Blythe, I can definitely see why she wanted to come home. Those students at FUN were just weird and perhaps creepy, considering they must love fashion more than anything else. They don't take pleasure in doing anything that doesn't involve fashion. The only normal student there besides Blythe would probably be McKenna Nicole. She was sort of funny and seemed like a good friend, but her love for many hats is just, well, it's there. The Fashion University North song was an absolute delight to hear, not only for its melody, but it also explained how Blythe was beginning to feel about attending the camp. The song's reprise later on showed how much FUN had really gotten on Blythe's last nerves. Seeing the students with the button eyes made me think of Coraline, and it seems pretty symbolic since those kids only see the world through fashion designs. If I may address another song of this episode, Mrs. Twombly's 99 Cans was absolutely amazing. Even though it was only a tad annoying in the sense that I've heard a variant of this song being sung before in other shows, I did find it hilarious when she added that lyric about ordering more cans. I guess when you work in business, you really shouldn't be running out of cans. Speaking more on Twombly, I really love her Littlest pet shuttle, and it has really served its usefulness in future episodes. The only other thing I can talk about is where Blythe and Twombly with the pets are both headed to the places they think they're going to meet up with each other. They come close to meeting at the truck stop, but they don't meet eye to eye, and when they arrive at their respective destinations, the people they wanted to see aren't there. Now, you'd think I'd hate something like that since it's been done before on other shows, but the likelihood of this happening in real life and in fiction is entirely possible, so I'm honestly not too upset over those moments. Overall, the episode comes off pretty strong, and besides the FUN students and their one-track minds, the episode is one of my favorites from Season 2. I'll be giving this episode a 9.5 out of 10. A very good start to the second season.
Let's see, I'll start off with Summertime Blues here. That one I can honestly say, like Cece said, the best episode of Season 1. You know, bar none. I can't think of a single negative in that regard. No plot holes, no unnecessary songs. Both songs were indeed, pretty necessary, even though Stay Here Forever for me was a little bit better. So that one, easy 10 out of 10. I could never forgive myself if I gave it anything less than that. I'd even venture and say it goes up to 11. Missing Blythe, however, that one's a little lower, but not by much. It does have a couple little bits that kind of rub me the wrong way, but all in all, it is a decent follow-up, so I'll give that one an 8.5.
So next week, we were supposed to do Season 1, but since we did Summertime Blues along with the intended Missing Blythe today, we're going to do Season 2 next week. So let's start up that randomizer.
Do it.
Bring on the randomizer!
And the randomizer brings us The Hedgehog in the Plastic Bubble. Oh my gosh.
It was gonna come eventually.
I was trying to brace myself for this moment, but I don't think I can.
I am so excited. I just can't hide it. I know.
Bacon's going to defend this episode to all ends.
I'm going to be the knight in shining armor for this episode.
We'll see come next week. We'll see.
What? You guys should be excited.
Oh, no, not for this episode.
Please, guys out there, pray for us. If you believe in any sort of deity, pray for us.
Kelly.
I'm so excited. I just love those vampires. What were their names again, Ekans?
Annabelle and Fergus.
Anyway.
So this is ICanSnake.
CC Trainor-Ling.
James Conman.
And this is the League of Petshoppers signing out. We'll see you for the next review. See you later.
Peace out, home slices.
See you guys.
And of course, Petshoppers will be seeing you in the next episode. So thanks, and thanks again.